Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling fearless. Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance, not the life I want to live. I want to take it all, standing tall, fear I weighed the person you are. Oh, break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight. We are just a few minutes away from the national anthem. We'll perform that live tonight. And then we'll have the pregame introductions for both squads and then get going with this semifinal game, number 1 seed New Heights Christian versus the number 4 seed, the Marionville Comets. As we're just showing on the screen, the Comets have a season record of 11-15. Looking at their common opponents, they both lost to Crane. That's the New Heights Cougars loss. Several, obviously 8 common opponents. Marionville won the quarterfinal game against Southwest. Southwest actually had a 9-point lead early in the second quarter, but Marionville had all of the momentum from there, took the lead into halftime, and then never really let up in the second half, controlling the game. The senior coach's son, number 11, Briar Gearin, the 6-footer, led all scorers with 21 points. I believe it was 21 in that quarterfinal game, and really did a good job getting to the basket. The Southwest Trojans committed to playing man defense full court against Gearin, and that didn't work out very well for them. So you see, Cougars usually like to play a half court or 3/4 court trap as a press, and then go into a zone defense. So it'll be a little bit different for the Comets tonight. All right, opening announcements.
Let's welcome our teams for the first game of the night. The number 1 seed, the New Heights Christian Academy Cougars, will take on the number 4 seed, the Marionville Comets. We would like to remind all spectators that this game is a part of the Missouri State High School Activities Association postseason tournament, and that this game is competitive, but also an educational experience for all players and students. Let's continue to show respect and sportsmanship throughout the contest and refrain from negative cheer, chants, or behaviors. We wish all players good luck in tonight's game. At this time, spectators, please rise if you have not already to your feet for the singing of our national anthem, and please remain standing for a prayer.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, where so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
God, I thank you for everything you do for us, Lord. I pray for tonight's game. God, I pray that you keep both teams safe from injury, Lord. I pray that everything we do will glorify you. Thank you for creating the sport of basketball, God, and thank you for all the blessings you've given us. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Now, let's meet the starting lineups for tonight's game. First up, the visitors, the Marionville Comets.
All right, announcements for the two squads. First, the Comets.
Number 1, Cannon Mace. Number 2, Garrison Smith.
Number 1 is Cannon Mace, a 5'9" junior. Number 2, Garrison Smith, a 5'8" junior. Number 3, Mason Willis, a 5'11" junior. Number 11, Briar Gearin, a 6-foot senior. And lastly is number 32, Ryan White, a 6'1" senior.
Number 3, Ben
Starting lineup for the Cougars. Senior number 3, Ben Schumacher. Senior number 4, Jaden Smith. Senior number 22, Cannon Miller. Junior number 24, Broderick Burns. And senior number 25, Adam Stanton.
Couple minutes behind 6 o'clock start.
All right, Ryder White for the Comets, Adam Stanton for the Cougars. The opening tip underway, Cougars win the tip. Burns setting up the offense. And Adam Stanton on the short corner. Over to Ben Schumacher on the right wing. Schumacher Stanton to Smith at the top. Smith with the dribble, gives it to Burns on the left wing. Stanton at the top of the key. Burns back dribbles to reset. Stanton on the left wing, dribble handoff to Burns. Burns spins in, looks back door for Smith. Smith through contact, puts it in, and the Cougars are on the board.
Good finish, nice job by Broderick to dribble through, penetrate, and dish to the back door.
Ryder Guerin in the backcourt, gets it over to Mace. Cougars in the press. Mace loses the handle, and 10-second count. Cougars pressure early, giving trouble to the Comets. Cougars reset with possession. Burns into the front court. Smith and Stanton on the double screen. Burns to the left side, finds Smith in the paint. Smith rises up and can't finish. Ryder White there for the rebound for the Comets. Guerin fumbles the pass, gets it over to Smith. Guerin at the top, Burns defending. Number 1 is Mace on the right wing. Smith on the left, Willis in the corner. Garrison Smith back to Mace at the top. Schumacher comes up to pressure. Smith setting up action. Back to Smith, into the corner for Willis. Jaden Smith comes out to defend. Comets patient. Ryder White on the right side. Smith back up to Mace. Over to Willis. Comets want to slow this game down. Mace to White. Guerin back up top to Smith. Mace. Smith goes baseline. Comes up short. Cannon Miller with the rebound for the Cougars. Out to Smith quickly. Jaden Smith, that is. Back to Cannon Miller. Over to Adam Stanton. Flashes to Smith. Smith from 8 foot, too strong. And a rebound pulled down by Mace. And Schumacher picks up a dumb foul.
Yeah, it was a nice look right off a set screen. Good look by Jaden, just a little strong. Ben Schumacher got caught with just a cheap touch foul there.
Cougars in the full court press, or three-quarter court trap, you might call it. Over to Willis on the left side, still in the backcourt. Finds Smith. Garrison Smith floats it over. Burns there, and they get away with the foul by White on his back. Burns spins in, loses the handle. Smith there to recover. Kicks it over to Miller. One more to Schumacher. Open for three. In and out. Jaden Smith with the offensive rebound. Put back. And it's good. Cougars lead 4-0.
Nice job. Ben had a great look at a three there. Went in and out.
Guerin gets the dribble down. Ahead to White. White through contact. Off the glass and in.
They're letting them play.
Smith into the short corner. Goes between his legs, back to Stanton. Up top to Burns, looking for the action. Burns over to Schumacher on the left wing. Smith at the top. Miller flashes through. Smith to Burns. Burns into the paint. through contact, too strong. Burns gets his own rebound, goes to the ground hard. Adam Stanton had a hand on it, but Gearin steals it away. Schumacher able to stop the drive, keeps going, and Schumacher picks up his second foul. Gearin will go to the line for 2 free throws.
Yeah. Ben with another foul there early in the first quarter now. That's 2 for him. Ben usually not one to get in foul trouble, but has in a game occasion.
Foul call on the floor. My mistake, I thought it was a shooting foul. Gearin inbounding into White, over to Smith. Garrison Smith, over to Mace. Gearin on the left wing. Gearin kicks it to Mace in the corner for 3. Willis comes in for the offensive rebound. Can't get it to fall, and Burns pulls it down for the Cougars. Burns at the top. Cougars starting 1 junior and 4 seniors. Have 3 subs coming to the table. Stanton at the elbow, up to Burns. Burns finds Smith on the cut. Off the bottom of the backboard, but draws the foul.
Yep.
And Jaden Smith will go to the line for 2. First foul on the Comets.
Fouls on the Comets, number 2, Garrison Smith. His first personal, and team first. Smith on the line, shooting 2.
Garrison Smith fouling Jaden Smith.
Not to be confused. Got the roll. Ben this time will take a seat instead of Broderick. Usually Broderick subs out here, but with Ben 2 fouls, he is going to take the early seat.
Max Long, who normally been in this first rotation, got injured in practice on Tuesday night. And
Jaden with all 6 points so far, as they didn't, there it is.
Smith gets it ahead to Willis. Cam Marins. Ball deflected by Marins is the call, and will stay the Comets ball. It looked like it went through Gearin, but.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It looked like it was last touch by them, but.
Caleb Dennis, Nolan Stanton, and Cam Marins, the 3 freshmen subbed in the game for the Cougars. Gearin being defended by Burns. Has the count going. Screened by White. Over to Mace for 3. Off the front of the rim. Marins fighting for the rebound. Loose ball. White gets it on the floor. Throws it back to Mace. And the Comets save a possession. Into the corner for Willis. He wants the corner 3, and he got it.
Yeah, it was a good kick to the corner again for another shot.
Adam
Whoa.
Stanton, big bump by Garrison Smith.
That's his second then.
What was he thinking there?
I don't know. Guess he didn't want to let him go to the basket.
Checking in for the Comets is number 15, Brody Wilson.
They calling it a shooting foul?
I have not determined. I don't.
I think the coach is questioning whether the first foul was on Smith. It was reported on Smith from the announcer.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to change it if they reported it to the table on Smith. Take a look back at the first basket of the game, the backdoor cut. Broderick finds Jaden down low.
Giving his guys a extra time out here by questioning.
All right, ball underneath. Cam Marins inbounding for the Cougars. Bad pass stolen by Gearin. Gearin all the way in and puts it in to take the lead.
Yeah, if you're going to throw that pass, you got to make sure you get it back far enough for our guy to get it.
Nolan Stanton on the left wing. Adam Stanton at the top. Over to Burns, long two, and he got it.
Cougars back up to the lead quickly.
Mace to Guerin in the backcourt. Ahead to number 15.
Oh, that's
Brody
backcourt.
Wilson. And over and back is the call. Cougars retake the possession. Second time the Cougars have been able to force a turnover in their press. .220 to play here in the first quarter. Adam Stanton on the low block. Hook shot, can't get the roll. Dennis gets away with the foul as White pulls down the rebound.
Yeah, he came in late, but like I said, they've been letting him play so far down there.
Guerin, bad
There's a
pass.
turn.
White tries to save it, and not there in time. Turnover back to the Cougars.
Cougars starting off a little cold shooting. They've had some really good looks. We'll see if they can pick it up like they normally do.
Burns at the top. Nolan Stanton on the left wing. Over to Marins. Marins to Stanton for three. Off the glass and in. Nolan Stanton hits.
I guess the bank is now open.
Willis picks up the dribble, gets it to Mace. Still in the backcourt. Back to Willis. Tries to split it to Guerin. Guerin finds White cutting baseline. White, tough shot. Caleb Dennis, the freshman, pulls down the rebound. Good outlet by Stanton to Burns. Burns behind his back, into the paint, kicks it to the corner. Guerin there, and knocks it. Last touch by Nolan Stanton. Ball back to the Comets. Just a late pass by Burns as he got a little too deep to kick that back. Became a blind pass. Guerin over to Willis. Willis picks up the dribble, gets it to Guerin, trapped in the corner. Guerin tries to go through
Stepped back
and steps
on the
line.
line.
And again, turnover by the Comets as that half-court trap is working well for the Cougars.
It's like Cannon Miller checking in for Adam to give him a breather here at the end of the quarter.
1:10 to play. Cougars with the 11-7 lead. Burns bounce pass to Stanton. Burns spins, and what'd they call that?
They called that offensive. That was a flop.
Well,
that was terrible. Out of all the contact that they've been doing, that was terrible. It should have been an and one with the flop.
It's not even. He's not even positioned to make that call as the lead. High pass by White over Guerin's head. He can't handle it. Ball back to the Cougars.
No, that was just terrible call.
It's one of the reasons they've tried to discontinue the punch in high school basketball is because refs love calling charges because they get to do that cool motion like a strikeout. Burns with a tough runner and puts it in off the glass.
Should have been another one that he had.
Guerin all the way in. Tough attempt. Burns able to secure the rebound. Gets the outlet to Dennis. Ahead to Miller. Cannon Miller into the corner. Gets it back to Burns at the top. Over to Nolan Stanton on the left wing. Stanton looking for an option. Gets it to Miller to reset. 10 seconds to play. Over to Burns on the right side. 7 seconds. Stanton cutting through. Kicks it to Dennis for three. Caleb Dennis comes up short. And that does it for the first quarter.
Probably not the three-pointer you hope for there at the end.
Yeah, quite the offensive set to set up Caleb Dennis for his second three-point attempt of the year.
We all play a role in the education of our students. Parents, fans, and people in the community all set an example for students, whether they are aware of it or not. Help rekindle the spirit of citizenship.
So things to watch after that first quarter. Obviously, Ben Schumacher with 2 fouls. Garrison Smith for the Comets, 2 fouls as well. All right, the Comets have the arrow to start the second quarter. Jaden Smith and Adam Stanton back in the game. Comets have possession. Willis, ball deflected by Smith, and back off of Willis's hand. And the Cougars' trap is really effective so far.
It's really doing a good job so far of throwing them out. Like you said, it's a little bit different than the man-to-man press that they went against the other day.
Cannon Miller on the right wing, being tightly defended by number 5, that's Cruz Murphy. Adam Stanton looking to take it into the short corner. Stanton spins through the double. Good body control, but can't get it to finish. And rebound pulled down by Brody Wilson. Gearin out ahead. Finds the pass down low for White. Adam Stanton gets a hand on it. Nolan Stanton fighting for the rebound. And able to secure it. Burns looking to push. Jaden Smith ahead. Back to Cannon Miller. Thought about the three. Gets it Jaden Smith in the corner. Way too strong. And Cannon Mace pulls down the backside rebound for the Comets.
A little jazzed up there here early in the second quarter.
Gearin all the way in. Tough shot. Adam Stanton with the rebound. Outlet to Smith. Smith ahead to Miller. Cannon Miller pushing all the way to the glass. And
nice
nice
job.
finish by Cannon Miller.
Good job to push it up that time. They're getting a little bit slower getting back. And we were able to go ahead and push right on through.
Sloppy pass by Gearin. Ryder White, the recipient. Adam Stanton comes in and deflects it away.
Adam did a great job seeing that.
Gearin inbounding for the Comets into the corner. Tough pass. Mace able to receive it. Takes a seat as he gets it back to Murphy, and Gearin at the top to reset. I mean,
yeah, that was a little bit more of a push-off than we saw earlier on the offensive foul.
Smith in legal guarding position. Gearin able to push through him and draw the blocking foul. Nolan Stanton gets called for the slap down.
Yeah, got caught with the reach in there.
And
just got to be smart and just get that trap going. Let them make their own mistakes.
Gearin inbound again for the Comets.
Got an illegal screen going there.
Murphy comes high. Jaden Smith defending. Over to White, trap comes into the corner for Gearin. Quickly to Murphy for three. Rims around and Cannon Miller flies in for the rebound. Burns walks it up. Looking to set up an action. Adam Stanton in the short corner, Jaden Smith in the corner. Nolan Stanton goes baseline. Smith on the right wing. Miller flashes through. Up to Adam Stanton at the top. Burns on the left wing. Miller for three at the top. Off the front of the rim. And number 15, Brody Wilson, flies in for the rebound for the Comets.
Good look. Looked like he rushed it just a hair. Came up a bit short that way with it then.
Long
Deep
three from Mace, and he hits it. 5-point game, 15-10. Ball to Burns. Adam Stanton wants to answer, and he does.
And that's what you need right there. Answers back with the three.
Into the corner, White goes baseline. Stanton tries to block from behind. White able to finish off the glass. Game picking up pace. Jaden Smith all the way in, acrobatic attempt, and Gearin gets called for the slap on the arm. Didn't look like much there.
No, that definitely, with all the contact that's been going on, that was definitely one of the lightest fouls we've seen. Ben still on the bench after having those two quick fouls halfway through the first period. Jaden now with 7 points.
7-point lead for the Cougars. Good on both free throws. Cougars in the three-quarter court. Gearin gets it ahead to White. Tough pass, stolen away by Burns. Burns in, and blocking, offensive foul called. And that's Burns' second foul.
That is 2 terrible calls.
Cam Marins comes to the table to check in. Ball over to Murphy. Into the corner for White. For 3, way too strong. Burns backside rebound. Burns pushing, Miller's ahead. Burns brings it back to the middle to reset. Over to Nolan Stanton on the left wing. Back to Burns to slow it down. Cannon Miller on the right side wants the 3. Murphy closes out. Back to Burns at the top.
They're doing a good job of grabbing them as they try to drive.
Stanton for 3. Yes, sir.
Good answer.
Guerin.
Oh,
tripping foul call on
geez.
Burns. That's his 3rd. Marins was at the table to check in for him, not before he picked up a 3rd foul. Cougars out to their largest lead, 11 points. But Burns on the bench with 3 fouls and Schumacher on the bench with 2. Murphy over to Mace. Cannon Miller defending. To Guerin. Back to Mace. 1 of the 3. Smith closes out. Back to Guerin. Looking baseline. Finds White. White off the glass, but too strong. And rims out. Good rebound pulled down by Nolan Stanton. Smith ahead to Miller. Miller in the corner. Gets it back up top to Nolan Stanton. Over to Cam Marins for 3.
Oh, my
He got it.
gosh. He got mugged on the shot. Four fouls to 1, and it's not like they're not fouling.
All right, timeout called by the Comets.
It's good to see the Cougars playing through it. It's the first time I think I can remember when Burns and Schumacher both in foul trouble and neither one of them in at point guard
Yeah, good point.
the whole season. Besides, I guess at the end of the game, with 2 minutes left to go or something, you know, where they take all the starters out. But other than that,
All right, after the timeout, Comets inbounding. Mace gets to Guerin to jog it up the right side. Cougars drop back into the half-court defense. Tough pass inside. Miller gets a hand on it. White
it can't stand up. That's a travel. At least one person recognized it all the way at the baseline.
All right, ball back to the Cougars. Another turnover by the Comets. Adam Stanton running point for the Cougars. Stanton with 6 points on 2 3-pointers. That puts him 2 points away from the 1,000-point mark for his career here at New Heights. Stanton draws the foul. Nice job by Stanton doing that little stop motion, and Willis runs into his back.
Yeah, we've seen a lot less not called, or seen a lot more not called.
Cannon Miller inbounds to Nolan. Back to Miller from 10. Too strong. Jaden Smith flies in and
Nice
finds
job.
the rebound.
Good
for
job
the
by Jaden
bucket.
cleaning up the board again.
Guerin ahead to Willis. Willis, good hands to receive that. Into Guerin, floats it for White. White around the rim, won't fall for him. Nolan Stanton with the rebound into transition for the Cougars. Jaden Smith, good step through and draws the blocking foul. He'll go to the line for 2.
They do know how to call a blocking foul, like, apparently. I don't know why they're not calling that as they're grabbing onto him as they're dribbling down the court, though.
Yeah, you should have seen the games Tuesday. All 3 games were so physical down court, just riding him the whole way, and nobody wanted to call a foul on that.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. I noticed on that.
Jaden Smith good on the first free throw.
I guess you just need to learn how to flop really good.
Makes both 30 to
Jaden,
12.
12 points here in the first half, having a heck of a ball game.
Gearin gets it to Murphy.
Oh, he traveled,
Murphy
but threw it
panics
away.
and throws it to the middle. Cannon Miller on the steal. Gearin defends. Miller gets it back to Smith. Too strong. Loose ball. Gearin fighting for it. Ball's on the floor. Nolan Stanton and White there for it, and
There's a foul.
Cougars get a timeout.
They're going to call a foul or they're going to call jump ball?
They called timeout. They gave Coach Harrell the timeout.
Ah. I'd say he's feeling a little frustration. Officials apparently are just going to talk instead of doing their job where they're supposed to go over to the buzzers and stuff and tell the teams to break huddle. I think they're probably discussing that they need to get the game under control.
All right, Cougars inbounding after the timeout. Nolan Stanton wide open if nobody comes to pick him up. Adam Stanton and Brody Wilson doing a little rock, paper, scissors for positioning, it looks like. Some water spill over on the Comets side after the huddle. We're going to get that cleaned up.
Coach wanted to turn it into, instead of a 30-second timeout, a full timeout.
Yeah.
Rest his kids.
Like we mentioned earlier, Adam Stanton with 6 points. He's 998 points for his career now. They can give him a little lob here to get him to 1,000.
Holy cow, I haven't seen this much delays.
All right, after the cleanup, Cougars inbound to Stanton for the lob, and it doesn't fall. Briar Gearin pulls down the rebound for the Comets. He's pushing all the way to the basket.
With the travel, but
And Adam Stanton pulls down the rebound. Ahead to Smith. Smith has a lane, steps in, comes up short on the runner. Nolan Stanton on the follow. Too strong, fight for the rebound. Gearin is able to pull it down for the Comets. Gearin through the double team. Ahead to Wilson. Back to Willis, thought about the three, drives baseline, resets at the top to Gearin. Gearin back to Willis, has the baseline, picks up the dribble in the short corner. Brody Wilson back up top to Gearin, to Willis. Mason Willis, the 5'11 junior. Picks up the dribble, over to Wilson. Back up top to White, Ryder White. Hand off to Gearin for the long three, and it's off the mark. Fight for the rebound, Willis and Marins, and knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Marins.
Checking in for the Comets is number 1, Cannon Mace.
Number 5, Cruz Murphy subs out as number 1, Cannon Mace checks back in the game. Mace in the corner, gets it to Wilson. Over to Willis. Willis resets back up top to Mace. Mace thought about the long three. Miller picks him up. And 5-second count
5-second call. Good
on
job.
Mace.
Good
as he
defense
couldn't
by the
find an outlet.
Cougars. 1:17 left to go here in the first half. Still stuck on 30 for us.
Jaden Smith to Stanton at the elbow. Flips it to Marins. Marins kicks to Miller. Thought about the three. Miller from 15, and he gets it.
Nice job. Good rise-up jumper right at the free throw line.
Now a 20-point lead for the Cougars. Ryder White in. Blocked by Marins from behind. Adam Stanton pushing. Inside for Smith. Good quick shot and draws the foul. And Jane Smith will go back to the line for 2 more free throws.
Yeah, great job again by the Cougars pushing it up.
That foul goes against Ryder White. That's his first. Smith gets the roll.
Touched every part of the rim, but it goes in.
Makes both free throws.
Jaden perfect on the night from the line.
Gearin jogging it up the right side. Nolan Stanton comes to trap. Gearin able to get through the double. Over to Mace, wants the quick three. Cam Marins, good box up, but can't secure the rebound. Wilson back to Mace, and he hits the 2-point jumper. Nolan Stanton over to Adam. Adam to Miller in the corner. Cannon Miller back to the top. Finds a lane and draws the foul as Willis was guiding him. Gets called for the hand check. Cannon Miller will go to the line for the bonus free throws.
15.9 on the official game clock here.
Miller good on the first.
Got the roll there again. Back up to a 21-point lead here. Sub coming in here for the Cougars. Must be for Cannon.
Miller makes both free throws and subs out as Caleb Dennis checks in.
Don't want to commit a stupid foul here and send him to the line for 2 shots with only 15 seconds left.
Mace over to Murphy. Back to Murphy at the top. Thought about the long three, gets it inside to White instead. Mace for 3. And Jaden Smith comes down with the rebound. That will do it for the first half. Did I miss? Did I miss those last 2 free throws on the scoreboard?
Must have. Because that gave us a 22-point lead.
Oh, you know what? I'm not sure how I did that, but I guess they didn't register. There we go, 36-14 is the correct score. All right, we'll take a halftime break. 9:40 left on the halftime clock, and we will be back for the second half. We'll send you through the first half recap.
Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling. Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still. Hanging in the balance, not the life I want to live. I want to take it all, standing tall. Fear outweighed the person you are. Oh.
All right, welcome back. We're about 2 minutes away from the start of the second half. Brad, what do we got for a recap of the first half?
Cougars, we've got 13 points in the first quarter, 23 in the second, so a much more productive second quarter as usual to get us a total for 36. The Comets, 7 in the first period and 7 in the second period, so consistent for them. They've kind of spread their scoring out. Jaden leads all scoring for us and them at 14 right now. He's the leading scorer at all. Adam comes back in for the Cougars with second points at 6. Burns with 4 then after that. For the Comets, we've got, like I said, it's just kind of spread out. We've got 5, 4, 3, and 2. We've got...
Yeah, I believe Mace and Willis each hit a 3 in the first half.
Yes. They're big. The 32, I can't recall his name, number 32, but he's got 4
Ryder
points. White's got 4 points for them.
White and Gearin are the 2 seniors on the squad.
Cougars ball coming out second quarter here, third quarter here, second half.
All right, Cougars back to the starting lineup. Ball into Burns, and we're underway. Schumacher on the left wing. Mace comes up to defend. Adam Stanton puts the dribble down, gets it back to Schumacher. Up top to Burns. Floats it into Stanton at the elbow, looks back door, it's not there. Stanton forces the dribble down, Gearin knocks it away. Gearin down, bounce pass to Garrison Smith, and he can't get it to fall. Gearin tightly defended on Burns, is able to get through the contact. Jaden Smith from 12, too strong, backside rebound by Willis.
A little amped up after the start of the second half there.
Mace in the corner, all the way into the paint. Stanton able to get the deflection and out ahead to Miller. Danny Miller ahead, knocked away by Willis. Nice help by Willis to get back. Out of bounds, Willis State Cougars ball on the end line.
He has a good swipe there to knock it loose. Luckily it didn't go off Cannon's leg.
Adam Stanton for 3, comes up short, and long rebound goes to Willis in the corner. Mace wants the 3, and he can't find it. No score yet in the third quarter. Several open shots. Jaden Smith on the dribble. Miller up top to Burns. Burns looks in, it's not there, over to Schumacher. Back to Burns at the top. Miller into the corner for Stanton, all the way across for Burns. Burns, tough shot from 15. Couldn't see Schumacher open for the 3, and out of bounds back to the Comets. Gearin dribbles it across half court.
Both teams trying to find some groove here. Which Comets being down 22 are going to have to score a lot quicker than.
Mace can't find the connection. Adam Stanton rips down the rebound. Out to Burns. Comets have numbers back. Burns slows it down. Over to Stanton, open for 3. He wants it. Comes up short, and Gearin pulls down the rebound.
Quick shot again.
Gearin loses the handle. Garrison Smith
Traveled.
all the way in. Burns there trying to take the charge, and he
Got
does.
it that time.
And Burns takes the flop charge, and it will
Got
call
the
it
flop,
payback.
the flop return. Yeah, they don't know what a charge is, do they? Both ways. They're flopping both ways. He got it back.
That's a tough one on Smith because that's his 3rd. Smith's that much of the. Actually, did they change that? They must have given that foul to someone else because they only have 2 on the board now for Smith.
Must be nice to be able to switch fouls around.
But he sat the whole second quarter, it seemed like, so I'm not sure about that.
Hi.
Burns finds Stanton up top to Miller.
One more.
One more to Schumacher. Willis closes out back to Miller at the top. Into the corner for Stanton. Stanton in the corner, gets it back to Schumacher as Burns cuts through. Miller over to Stanton. Stanton sitting at 998, finds Smith from 8 feet.
Nice.
And Smith nails the jumper.
Good job of Cougars continuing to rotate different cutters through the middle and finally found one wide open for a nice little 8-foot jumper.
Willis picks up the dribble, gets it back to Mace. Over to Guerin for the long three. And high off the glass, Burns comes down with the rebound. Burns pushing, finds Stanton ahead. And pass goes late, Guerin there to steal it.
Tried to push it just a little too much there through.
Guerin all the way to the basket, puts in the layup.
Burns couldn't afford to try to pick up his 4th.
Finds Smith that time.
Nice
and
pass
Smith
and a
draws
one.
The foul and the bucket.
That's that baseball throwing arm pass there.
White commits the foul.
Smith having a whale of a game now at 18. And perfect from the line, 7 for 7.
Guerin with the dribble, gets it over to Willis. Smith loses his feet as Guerin gets through the double. Behind his back to Wilson. Kicks out to Willis in the corner for 3, and he got it. Burns down the right side. Mace defending. Burns finds Stanton.
Oh, he got
with a
mugged,
baby hook.
Got it.
And Adam Stanton scores. And that's a timeout for the Cougars to celebrate Adam Stanton reaching his 1,000 points.
Burns with the assist.
Important that you point that out.
He got raked. I'm glad they didn't call the foul as he caught that pass to let him finish his shot, but Cougars continue to pressure. 3-quarter court here.
I was going to make that graphic pregame, and I didn't want to jinx it. So
Yeah.
I tried to
Do it on the fly then.
quickly do it on the fly there. Guerin gets the dribble down. Miller and Smith defending. And Smith gets called for the hand check. All right, back to the action. Mace over to Willis. Guerin at the top. Nolan Stanton and Schumacher defending. Ball deflected. Nolan Stanton there for the steal. Finds Adam. Adam in. And Guerin's with a nice block deflected by Marsh. Hunter Marsh subbed into the game on that last sub. I guess Cam Marins and Hunter Marsh subbed in, along with Nolan Stanton. Ryder White looking for an option, gets it to Guerin. Long three from Mace, and loose ball knocked out of bounds. Will stay.
Oh, man, he doesn't even know what he's doing.
Yeah, Ben just needs to get the ball there. Don't let it go out of bounds. Just
Yeah.
It's a 50-50 ball. Grab the ball. Ball across. Marin
Oh, that's going to
gets
be
a
off
hand
his
on
head.
it. And last touch by Mace. Good defense by Cam Marins. Schumacher with the dribble, floats it over to Marins. Marins, looks like he stepped on the sideline, then throws it away. Guerin with the steal. Murphy throws it behind the backboard. And ball back to the Cougars. Schumacher over to Nolan Stanton to Adam. From 12. Cam Marins there for the rebound, but Guerin flies in and steals it away. Briar Guerin, crossover dribble, step back three, and Hunter Marsh there for the rebound for the Cougars. He finds Ben Schumacher ahead. Schumacher through contact.
Wow.
And it took the third foul
before they
to give
called
it
it.
to him.
Yeah.
Fouls on the Comets, number 15, Brody Wilson. That's his first personal and 2 third on the Comets. Schumacher at the line, shoot 2.
Ben Schumacher at the line for 2. Good on the first. Makes both free throws.
Cougars doing an excellent job from the free throw line tonight so far.
Ball ahead to Murphy. Trap comes, Marins and Schumacher. Gets it to Guerin all the way in. Guerin with a nice left-handed finish. Quickly out to Schumacher to the middle. Guerin goes for the steal. Schumacher finds the space. Good ball movement by the Cougars. Marins to the glass.
Wow.
Hunter Marsh pulls down the rebound. Oh, actually knocked away. And called last touch by Marsh.
Apparently Marsh threw it backwards over his head, out of bounds.
Yeah, it sure looked like it got deflected, but
Yeah.
Cougars pressing. Guerin gets it ahead to Murphy. Trap comes. Murphy finds Mace in the middle, but can't handle the pass. Oh, Marsh gets on the floor. And yeah, that hasn't been called a foul, but that is a foul.
Yeah, it is.
We've seen many of those
Not be called at all.
not be called, but yeah, you can't jump on the other guy. But we like the effort by Marsh.
I think it's probably just because Marsh is so much bigger.
Yeah.
If it's a smaller guy, they don't call that jump on. They don't.
Ball into White. Guerin picks up the dribble. Marin's nice defense, gets a hand on it. And last touch by the Cougars. Ball will stay Comets. Ball into the corner for Willis. Willis has baseline, looking for the reverse. Tries to throw it over the top. Schumacher steals. Floats ahead to Nolan Stanton. One more to Marins. And offensive foul called on Nolan Stanton as Guerin there for the aggressive flop.
He's definitely practicing for Hollywood.
He's just a small guy, you know, he can't handle that.
He can't handle that kind of contact.
Guerin all the way in and draws the foul.
Looked like a charge.
Smith wasn't in legal guarding position, so it's kind of a bailout foul, but it's still kind of hard when Guerin's going to the ground, going to the floor.
Ball don't lie.
Guerin trying to break the 7-point a quarter streak. This would make it 8 for the quarter.
Yeah.
Comes up short.
You jinxed it.
Nolan Stanton with the rebound. Into the corner for Schumacher. Back to Stanton, up to Marins. Then Schumacher baseline. Finds an angle. White's able to deflect it. Schumacher stays in control. Back to Marins. Marins loses the handle, back to Schumacher. Schumacher through the double. And that one's not
That's not a foul, though. That's a jump ball. even though the big guy jumped on
That's
our small guy.
hilarious because we just talked about how ridiculous that is. That
Yeah.
Look at White literally sitting on top of Schumacher for the jump ball.
Yeah. Yeah. Jeez.
Jump.
This should be taken for the referee clinic on how not to call a game.
Wilson over to Murphy for 3, and he got it. Jaden Smith out ahead.
Pushing with the arm.
And Smith loses control back to the Comets. .21 lead for the Cougars. Finds Wilson, and Wilson puts it in. 20 seconds left in the third quarter. Schumacher to Nolan Stanton into the corner for Marins. Into Marsh, tries to flip it in. Gearin steals. Marins gets there from behind. Murphy picks up the loose ball, and that does it for the third quarter. So a 12-point third quarter for the Comets.
They are scrappy. When the referees don't call anything, it makes it a lot easier to be that scrappy.
Your cooperation is appreciated. We also appreciate all fans who are school proud and good sportsmanship throughout this game. We ask that all spectators continue to display good sportsmanship through after tonight.
Maybe they don't get called to pay. Maybe they don't get paid to call the game like it should. They get paid to call the game to make it exciting.
Let's take a look back at that on replay.
Yeah, that had to be a great. So terrible, it has to be funny.
All right, starters back in to start the fourth quarter for the Cougars. This game isn't over yet. This is a 19-point lead.
Yeah, they can shoot threes.
Schumacher in the left wing, into the corner for Stanton. Back to Burns. Burns gets doubled, trying to find a way through. And White picks.
No bat. I don't know how that's not on the shot, unless they were just calling it way out at the free throw line because he was trying to go up with it. Good grief.
All right. Smith from 15, too strong. Rebound pulled down by Mace for the Comets. Briar Gearin kicks it to the corner for Smith. Garrison Smith, that is.
Apparently you can just push off like that. Jeez.
Gearin loses his footing, gets it over to Mace. Into the corner for White. White driving in, rises up. And good job by Stanton defending without fouling. Burns pulls down the rebound. Burns pushing through the middle. Tries to bounce pass it in to Stanton. Gearin gets the kick, and it's inline.
Fresh shot clock that way.
Endline inbounds for the Cougars. Miller to Schumacher. Over to Miller. Into the corner for Schumacher. Back to Miller on the left wing. He resets to the top with the dribble. Burns gets trapped, finds Miller. Oh man,
Jeez,
White
getting mugged.
slaps him in the head and gets the steal. Mace with a tough shot and catches it out of bounds. Ball back to the Cougars.
These officials are just going to let them do whatever. Like I said, they want it to be exciting here in the fourth quarter. Cougars down to 2 timeouts now as they've used another one. I'm sure coach is telling them, you got to protect yourself. They're just letting them brawl. It would be really sad if Cougars weren't up by 21 points.
Yeah.
I mean, that literally they've played through, but it's terrible.
All right, Cougars with the ball after the timeout. Comets in full court press. Stanton gets it to Smith. Jaden Smith on the right side, ball poked away. Burns able to save it all the way back up to Stanton. Stanton from 15 and draws the foul. And Adam Stanton will go to the line for 2 free throws.
Yeah, on that 50-50 call, we've been losing those, so Burns went ahead and saved it because who knows who they would have called it out on, but I'm guessing it would have been blue ball.
Yeah, I think Jaden hit that last, so
yeah.
Good decision by Burns to save it.
It's good. That's the way you do it. You don't save it right under. Kick it out. Try to get to your guy.
Adam Stanton good on the first free throw, back to a 20-point lead for the Cougars. Can't get the second one to fall. Gearin across to White. Ryder White on the dribble. Looks down low for Wilson. And Wilson just too strong off the glass. Rebound pulled down by Stanton. Cannon Miller into the corner, tough pass.
Dangerous.
Good job by Smith to jump to the ball.
Cannon, instead of going in and kicking it cross court, tried to go, but they were there ready for it. Got to be careful with that.
That's the 4th foul on White. He's going to sub out as Willis checks in. Ball into Schumacher, back to Miller. Murphy comes up to defend. Adam Stanton turns, gets it to Burns. Burns tightly defended by Gearin. Gets it to Stanton from 15. And tough shot, rebound pulled down by Willis.
Yeah, not a bad shot. Usually he makes those, but also not a bad idea to work it around a little bit.
Mace to Willis. Trap comes, Willis gets the dribble down. Gearin and Burns fight for the ball. Gearin on the floor,
What do they got?
Kicking call? Oh, I guess they said Gearin kicked it.
Oh, gotcha.
I didn't see that, but
dangerous.
Tough pass. Schumacher able to step to it. Gearin into the bleachers. Cougars with the man
There you
advantage,
go.
and Smith all the way in for the easy layup.
That's the way you punish that press. Attack it just like that.
Gearin with the good dribble. Burns and Miller come on the double. And Smith and Willis on the backside rebound. I think that's going to go against Willis. I'm
Should
not sure.
be. He was holding Jaden down, so he couldn't put his arm up to get it.
So 4th foul of the quarter on the Comets.
Yeah, they're playing. They've got nothing to lose except for the game, so they're playing all out.
All right, so Garrison Smith back in the game along with Ryder White as number 5 Cruz Murphy and number 15 Brody Wilson sub out. Jaden Smith gets the inbound, has some space, kicks it to Burns. Burns through the double, draws the foul.
No shot again. Holy cow.
It's a 5th foul, so he'll go to the line.
He'll go to the line, but jeez.
Yeah, the continuation rule is that it's new this year, and the refs really haven't adjusted to it, but you're allowed to pivot or step after you've picked up your dribble, and that's considered the habitual shooting
continuous motion, yeah.
Burns makes both free throws. Mace to Guerin. Picks up his dribble. Gets it over to White. White trapped. Good pass to Smith. Smith all the way over for Mace for three. And too strong. Good box out on the backside by Jaden Smith. Ball up to Stanton. Adam Stanton with the acrobatic left-handed attempt. Jaden Smith flies in and gets a hand on it, but can't get it on target. And Guerin pulls down the rebound for the Comets.
Oh. It's on the floor. It's on the floor. Holy smokes.
Yeah, I mean, Schumacher was giving ground there, and so it's probably the right call. I mean, he if he wants to draw the foul, he's got to hold his position. Guerin off the mark. Schumacher pulls down the rebound for the Cougars. Jaden Smith, wow. All right, foul. That's Guerin's second foul. Smith good on the free throw. Smith makes both free throws. And it's 52-26. Cougars have doubled the score. Mace over to White. White all the way in. And foul call on Stanton. I don't know. It's just comical at this point, that
Yeah,
ref.
it's just terrible.
White good on the first.
Like I said, it'd be really sad if it was a close game being called like this.
Well, that's the tough thing about playing the early game in these districts. It does take these refs work regular jobs. They're coming from work, and it takes them a while to get warmed up, and sometimes the game can get out of hand before you get ready. Foul called on the Comets. I didn't even see. Is that on Garrison?
It was on number 2.
Garrison Smith. So that's his fourth foul.
Jaden at 23 points now with a chance for 2 more.
Smith gets the roll on the first. Short on the second. White all the way in. Stanton gets a hand on the ball and strips it away. Flips it to Burns. Burns, good job with the hesitation, draws the contact.
Yeah, he knew that they were going for blood. They've been swinging at everything. They ain't got nothing to lose, so they definitely were going to karate chop. Thought it was on the floor, though. I guess luckily they're shooting 2.
Burns good on the first. Number 5, Cruz Murphy back in the game. Can't find the net on the second. Murphy for 3. Comes up short. Schumacher with the rebound for the Cougars. Adam Stanton on the right side. Inside to Miller. What
Nice.
a finish.
Nice
by
alley-oop.
Cannon Miller.
Nice alley-oop.
Three-pointer by Mace. Rims around. Jaden Smith with the rebound. Bounce pass to Miller. Cannon Miller finishes. Now it's a running clock, 30 points. That's the Comets' answer right here. Mace for 3. And over the backboard, the clock will keep running. Starting lineup for the Cougars subs out as Nolan Stanton, Barrett Bowen, Connor Perry, Brandon Schumacher, and Caleb Dennis check in the game. Nolan Stanton on the dribble, gets it over to Bowen. Into the corner for Perry. Nolan Stanton from 15 pulls up for the jumper and gets the roll.
Nice shot, good play.
Briar Guerin. Over to Mace for 3, and he got it. Ahead to Bowen. Over to Schumacher, Brandon Schumacher. Schumacher from 12. Off the mark, rebound pulled down by Willis. Mace, tough pass to Willis. Into the corner for White. Dennis grabs him and gets the foul on the floor.
That guy's never called the shooting foul.
All right, inbound underneath for the Comets.
Back below 30 points, so it's stop clock again.
3-point shot by Mace. Ball to Schumacher. Over to Nolan Stanton. Stanton with the 8-foot runner. Gets his own rebound and puts it back.
Just padding stats there by getting the rebound.
Willis for the long 3. Off the back of the rim. Nolan Stanton secures the rebound for the Cougars. Murphy and Gearin coming on the trap. Stolen away by Murphy. And layup by the Comets. Ball into Brandon Schumacher, head to Bowen. Bowen steps through, and a nice finger roll finish.
Nice job, good job on the finger roll. Less than a minute to go now.
Oh, sorry, my clock stopped. I didn't get my clock restarted. Brandon Schumacher going to the line. Schumacher good on the first. And can't get the second to fall. Under a minute to play here. And in the corner for Wilson. Rebound by Mace on the backside and foul called. Looks like a shooting foul. Mace will go to the line for 2.
We held their top scorer right now to just 6 points for the night.
Mace makes the free throw. Dennis across to Schumacher. Bowen, good rip through to keep it. Back to Schumacher. Ball poked away. Bowen gets it to Stanton. Cougars trying to run the clock out. And they're going to hold. That's going to do it. And that's a final. Cougars advance to the championship game on Saturday at 6 p.m. Jaden Smith with a huge night for the Cougars. Adam Stanton got his 1,000-point mark. We'll send you through the second half recap as we close out, and we'll be back for the 7:30 game, Pierce City versus Diamond, coming up next on a new live stream.
Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling. Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still. Hanging in the balance, not the life I want